strong. And I need you with me, babe. Can't see you leaving me, babe. 'Cause I don't know no other road I would go. And I hope your feelings change. Come bring your love back to me, so I can give you what you want and much more. Oh, I'm saying I'm waiting for you. I know waiting at these walls.
Yo. Hey, y'all. Woo. Yeah, what's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome to Pam's World.
Pam's World.
Hey,
Me and my girl.
Y'all ready for it tonight?
Are we ready?
What's good? Happy Sunday, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Pam's World. My thoughts, my views with biblical. I gotta always bring it back to a resolution. I gotta always make sure that there is some substance that you are getting, because to have a conversation with you and just leave you empty, leave you flat, it makes no sense.
Amen.
Whatsoever.
Come on.
So at the end of the day, we're going to leave you with something up here on Pam's World. What's up, y'all? I missed y'all. It felt good to speak with you last week. And now this week, I'm excited because there are some things that we're going to talk about. We're going to laugh. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have our moments of being serious here. And I want to talk to y'all just straight from the heart. But before I do all those things, I just want to welcome my beautiful, beautiful co-host, D.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Enjoy.
How you doing? Hello, everyone. How
on.
gosh. Look at
Come
this
on.
one.
Yes, this is how we do
doing?
it. I can't. This is how we do it
Hallelujah.
right here on Pam's World. Now, for a moment, I just want to let everybody know, if you wasn't tuned in, if this is your first time tuning in, a lot of people want to know if this is a gospel show. You know what I mean? Oh, is it going to be gospel, Pam? You say da-da-da-da-da. No, it's not a gospel show. But because we live the gospel, that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you are who you are. And what's on the inside of you, it is going to come out. Right?
Yes.
Y'all believe that?
It's going to come out.
Come on, it's going to come out. You
Out
can't
of the
hide it.
heart,
Come on.
the mouth speaks.
It speaks.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So, okay, with all of that being said, was y'all in church today?
Well,
You know, I gotta ask y'all, was y'all in church today? Because I know I was in church today. I don't know what happened at your
Tune
church,
in.
but I pray at the end of the day that Jesus was there, that the Holy Spirit was moving, and that they were preaching about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because if not, you need to exit that church, because it ain't right. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna not say. Listen,
sure
if they
did.
not
She
if
just
they
said,
not
"Say
talking
goodbye."
about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, you don't need to be there. Because listen, at the end of the day, I know people nowadays, they lifting up angels, talking to walls,
They
doing all
celebrate
types of
Beyonce.
things.
Church of
And it's
Beyonce.
just, come on,
Jesus.
yeah, they got the Church of Beyonce now. So I'm telling you, if it's not about Father, Son, Holy Spirit, you need to go. With all of that being said, let me just give y'all a little bit of what happened today at my church. I promise you, I had the opportunity to be able to excuse me, I was just having a little technical difficulty real quick. But we had an opportunity today to see a move of God. And I see it every Sunday, but I should say a special move today. The Lord really laid it on the heart of my pastor to really, truly, honestly stop. It was like a stop in service. And she began to say that the Lord is saying that there are people who were in service whose hearts were heavy. And it was just like, yo, if you could have seen the amount of people that came to the altar, and God was just saying to them to speak to him from their heart. He wanted to hear their heart. He wanted to heal their heart. And it was so beautiful to behold. And I was just like, yo, I was just like, it really just said, like, God, you are so loving. You are so caring. You are so intimate with people that, you know, sometimes we don't think that God really cares. We don't think that God is listening. We don't think that he's real. All of these things. But if you could have seen the people crying out at the altar, and I found myself, you know, and I'm praising, I'm giving God praise for other people. And I was just like, I'm lifting them up because I was like, God, my heart is not heavy today. You know, thanks be unto God. And then there was a moment where something switched, and I said to God, I said, God, there is something in me. Because he pointed it out, and I just agreed with the Spirit of God because that's how he was moving. I said, my heart is heavy because I miss my family. I had to be so honest. I said, God, I miss my family. And that thing, it was so real to me. And it's just like, you know, sometimes people, you don't know what it is that you're shouldering. Sometimes you don't know what you're carrying. But because of who God is, he knows he goes deep. He sees beyond what people see. He sees beyond the mask. He sees the depths of your heart. And because of that, I'm just saying to anybody out there listening, if you wasn't in church today at all, if you don't think about going to church, I hope that this right here would make you think about not even going to church, but take a moment at home, wherever you are, driving in your car, whatever it is that you're doing, take a moment to just say, God, do you really love me? Can you show me then? And I promise you, if you do that with a sincere heart, you're going to see God. You're going to see him. You're going to see him if you don't close your eyes to it. Anybody else? Was anybody else in church today?
I was there.
Yo.
I was there also.
Whew. It was on fire.
I get a different perspective, of course.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm the pastor. But we just have to be completely concerned about the souls of the people. And obviously, in many times, we have a lot of churches that I'm not going to say they're not concerned, but other things take precedence, and it cannot.
Wow.
The souls are what is important. And when God moves and when he speaks at that moment, we don't, or we should not have to wait for the appropriate time. We should not have to, okay, I'll do it then, or I get it. Oh, we gotta move. No, we don't. And that's what the Lord was saying. Like, and I said, don't rush. I said, we're not moving until he moves. And so we have to be sensitive, because that's why we have church, for the people. It's not for your agenda. Your agenda as the pastor or the prophet or the apostle of the house, your agenda is to follow God's agenda. Right. And many times we don't have that. So we're looked at as the different church, but our different is God's standard.
Come on. You better say that. Did you just say that?
I just said it on the radio, and I'll say it again. Our difference is God's standard.
It's God's standard.
Because I'm going to do what God has to do, because it's for the souls. It's for y'all. It's for us. And so if he's like, and he said it, open the altar now. Open the altar, because there's so many. And what happened? It was a flood.
It was a flood.
Even people who came in during came up.
Yes.
Know? So it's not about, it's just so not about us as the leaders. You know, a lot of times we think it's about us, and people, and I'm not going to say we, and people exalt the leader, and you're looking to the leader. And I constantly stress, don't look to me, look to God. You know, look to God. What happens when I'm not there?
Come on.
What happens when you're not in church on Sunday?
Right.
You know, what happens when you can't get a meeting or a message through? You got to go to God for yourself. And not, Pastor, what about this? Or minister this, what about that? Hey, God, he talks to all of us. He's no respected person.
Right.
So we got to get to that place. We got to get to a healthier place.
Absolutely. Joyce?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there, and then, you know, again, we all, you know, worship at the same place. So God was definitely in the building, God definitely in the house. But to Pastor's point, when she spoke about us getting to know God for ourselves, having our own relationship, having our own standard of prayer, and having our own prayer life, and going to him first. So then this way, when the pastor does tell you something, or the minister does come to you with something, it's not like you're hearing it for the first time. It's more of a confirmation, and it's more of a direction. You know, maybe God may have said, this is something that you need to do. This is something that you need to put forth. This is something that needs to be in action. And if the pastor or the minister comes to you and says, okay, God was telling me this is not now like the first time you hearing it.
Or it's a confirmation.
Right? You know,
or it should be a confirmation of settling
what you
in
already
spirit.
know.
You know, we got to get to have our personal relationship with God. And we also want to make sure we shout out our Facebook fans. We're here seeing you.
Yes.
Big shout out to Pam'S. A big shout out to Angela. Big shout out to who else we have on the board. Patricia, thank you, we love you. Aretha, thank you, we love you. I just saw, I'm seeing so many, I don't want to miss your names, but we acknowledge you. We love you for being with us and for rocking out with us. Janice, LaShawn, Juanita, Thank you. Keep it coming. Gigi, Delton, have your way. Shaka, hey, Shaka. Yep. Allison, in the name of Jesus, let's do it.
Come on.
So keep it coming. Keep the comments coming. I see you, and we will make sure that if you have any questions that you post up here, we're going to try to read them out. Oh, from readings from London. Come on, Gigi.
Yes, come on.
Amen.
Come on. So what we're going to do right now is that we're going to take a moment. We're going to stop. I'm going to play this joint right here. I'm going to play 2 joints. I'm going to play Happy by Nikeo.
Big shout out to Nikeo. Just had a big concert.
So 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Go purchase that. Go cop that. Big shout out to Nikeo. And big shout out to my brother Ish.
Yes.
I love all y'all, but I love Ish.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, and then too, we're going to hit you with that Kendrick Lamar DNA. And I want y'all to just, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about them joints. Check it out. Happy.
People you don't know, it's the one and only Sky Hype on the ones and trees. Yeah, me there with the one and only Nikeo Music Group. If the things that we did done, enough people count we out and say we'll never make it. Yeah, look for we now. Hey.
Flawless and I own it. My swag is on a mill. I spread love to the broken heart. Yeah, I spread love to the broken heart. Saying hi to all my haters. Deuces, see you later. Cause you can't kill my vibe. Cause my God is on my side. So when you see me rolling through, know I got none but love for ya. Cause I am happy to live, happy to breathe. God ain't broke and I'm living my dream. Even on a cloudy day, the sun is always shining. Everywhere I go, I let the world know you make me happy. I get excited, can't hide it, God. You make me happy. The sun is shining so bright inside. You make me happy. You make me smile when I think of how you make me happy. I can't explain, it's amazing how you make me happy.
This joy that I have got me so fly that I don't wanna land. First class, the grace I'm in, and I ain't touched ground since my wings grew in. Oh, I got so much favor. He surrounds me. God is greater than anything that can come my way. Ain't nobody better than God. Can't nobody take away my purpose, cause he changed me and gave me new life when he saved me. I'm so glad that I had that. Right inside, watch me shine. It's all because you make me happy.
I get excited, can't hide it, God. You make me happy. The sun is shining so bright inside. You make me happy. You make me smile when I think of how you make me happy. I can't explain it, it's amazing how you make me happy.
That swag is so fly, and no, it ain't the J's or the Ray-Bans offsetting the twinkle in my eyes. As much as I would like to attribute it to me being such an attractive fellow, gotta get it, glory to God. So I dish it like a point guard trying his glow. Say I'm the faucet, he the living water, it's his flow. Let the track drown his craze. The way he hold me down like gravity. He the focal point, and I'ma play the background. I have a good time, I'm chillin'. Spreading love, good vibes, haters can't kill it. And I can two-step through the test the way I'm feeling. Plus I got his joy inside, the thief can't steal it. Blessed. So am I to know my God. It's not pride to know who I am, to know my fly. To know one day I be meeting them up in the sky. And look back and wave the haters goodbye. Bye, haters.
I get excited, can't hide it, God. You make me happy. The sun is shining so bright inside. You make me happy. You make me smile when I think of how you make me happy. I can't explain, it's amazing how.
Royalty inside my DNA. Quarter piece got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your bed. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again, like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again, the sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use it. Your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Gotta miss all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch, Born inside the beast, my expertise checked out in second grade. When I was 9, on sale motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I've been so well, hit cartwheel in my estate. And I'm gon' shine like I'm supposed to, antisocial extrovert. And excellent, meaning extra work. And absentness, what the f*** you hurt. And passiveness never struck my nerve. And that's a riff gonna be this case. The reason my power's in earth. Salute the truth from the prophecy. I got loyalty, got royalty inside
This is
my
why
DNA.
I say that hip-hop has done more damage to young African Americans than racism in recent years.
I never bet my DNA. This is my heritage, all I'm inheriting. Money and power, the maker emeritus. Tell me something, you motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation. My DNA an abomination. This where you in the matrix, that your bullets reaping what you're sowing.
Yo, can I get some claps for that? Yo, I had to play my boy Kendrick. Yo, the reason why I listen to Kendrick, I think he's so fire, y'all. So dope, so fire. I know a lot of times it's hard to keep up when you ain't listening to all of what it is that's going on. But he talked about DNA, and it's just like your makeup. Like, what is your DNA? And it's just like at the end of the day, it's so easy to be like, okay, I'm this, I'm that. But what is your makeup? Like, your DNA makes up who you are. It's your very being. And I just wanted to ask people, like, who are you? Do you know the soil of who you are? You know what I mean? And it's just like, because he began to talk about this DNA, and I'm listening to the record, and that's why I wanted to play it. I know that it's not something that you know, the norm that people would think that I would listen to, but I'm telling you, all day long, I'm going in listening to this record over and over and over again because of the depth of it. To me, it meant a lot to me as far as who are you? And it's just like, do you really think that people know who they are? Because it's just like, I think a lot of people may have a sense sometimes. I think that people may kind of have just a small inclination of who they are. But I think a lot of people are missing that. Because if you knew who you are, why don't you stand in it? Why do we always find ourselves compromising? Yes. So what is your DNA? What, like, y'all come in, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about that, because this song does it for me. It really does.
I think some people know who they are. I think people are growing into who they are, and I think who you are should always evolve. It should always grow, because if we stay still, I don't want to be who I am in 10 years. I don't want to be who I still am right now. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. Like, do we have the core of our foundation? And many times we are persuaded. You can allow people to persuade you. We kind of talked about that in church today. Yes. Oh, you wasn't.
Well, I was with the kids today. I was in children's church.
You got to watch the video.
Yeah, yes.
But we kind of talked about how people conform to everyone else around them. And it can be a strange thing, a shaky thing, a scary thing when you are the only one standing on your firm foundation or your belief. And so we did talk about that, how to stand firm in who you are, regardless of what everybody else is saying or doing.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and same thing here, like your DNA, your makeup. And even last week when we were talking about the decisions and the choices and things that we make, and you know, like how dedicated we are to God or not, that's all part of our makeup. That's all part of who we are from the inside. Right. So to me, I get the DNA. You know me, I'm not a big rap person. I have my back in the day rappers. You know, my Tribe Called Quest, my Tupac. You know, today's rappers, and I do like Kendrick Lamar, but you know, I get what he's saying. It's like, you know, what are you truly made of? You know, don't sugarcoat things. Don't act like you somebody you're not. You know, and in today's world, everybody's acting like somebody they're not. So to me, this record was pretty cool.
And social media has a lot to do with it, because some people just look at the gram. They just look at social media, and that's exactly who they aspire to be.
Yeah. Carbon copies.
Yeah, some people
not being unique, not allowing their true selves to shine. They're putting on, you know, masks and you know, trying to be people that they're not, like trying to impress rather than just be.
Wow, and that's good. You know what just came to my mind is that DNA. Of course, God is the one that gives us our DNA, right? But when I thought about DNA, I was just like, okay, he said, I have loyalty. He has loyalty inside his DNA. And a lot of other things. He has black inside of his DNA. But do you have God in your DNA?
Yes, God.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Technically, we all do, because we come from that source.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Do we acknowledge that part of our DNA? It's just like, but what I'm not even just acknowledge it, but do you live by? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you live by that part of your DNA? Because jokers be like, yo, I'm loyal to a default. You know what I mean? And it's some people that really, truly, honestly are loyal to a default, meaning that whatever, you can do whatever to them. And it's just like they'll still be there. I used to be one of those cats, so I can.
You think about
definitely
that term "ride or die" with females. They get cheated on left and right. They get beat left and right.
Right.
They get abused left and right.
Right.
So are they saying their DNA is being an abusee?
But
you know, like
okay,
you
go
get what
ahead,
I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry.
It's like it's not. It's there is a point to where you need to love yourself and get to a point where part of your DNA.
But
Come on.
Part of your DNA needs to be, you know, if you're connected to God, and if God is in your DNA, He is not going to allow you to continuously be in a position where you're not being your best self, not seeing yourself the way that He envisioned you, not seeing yourself as being great, not seeing yourself as being worthy. God, that's not what God has in store for you.
Right.
And you got to remember, though, people have a choice. And even when you say, is your DNA to be beaten or whatever, sometimes people have to get past that prison that they have. It's a mindset that they don't understand. They could have grown up watching this and they believe this is what love is, so you don't leave this. You know what I mean?
Very true.
So it's not where some people have such just low self-esteem or self-worth. They could think that's their norm. And until you get off this block and see something different, you may think that's okay. So we got to speak to that, pray for that as well.
Very true.
Like you're saying, is it in your DNA to be beat? Of course not. Or to be the abuser.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, they could have been abused, and that's why they abuse. And so it's always another perspective that we got to look at. We always got to look at try to look at the whole picture and the whole story, because everybody is an individual.
Right.
Very true.
But I
That's
do get
good.
that. Yeah.
That's good. So, you know, tonight, I really want people to walk away from just this moment, just saying, what am I made of? What
Yeah,
I mean, what are you
that's
made
great.
of? You know what I mean? What are you made of? And if you really can truly, honestly answer that for yourself, then be it. If that's what you're saying, and Joyce, you are so good at telling me that. You would say that to me all the time. It's just like, you know,
No, I get on your
and
nerves.
it cuts. You know what I mean? It cuts. Well, then just be that. Like, be it. Of course, you already know you say it. I
know.
Listen, at the end of the day, so
I'm
it's just
vilified
like,
for
so
being
it's
your
just like,
friend,
you
so-
know, at the end of the day,
Hallelujah.
it's just like,
Don't you
be
do
it.
it.
If you saying my makeup is this,
Come
then
on.
be
Then
it.
be that thing.
Live it. You know, so it's just like at the end of the day, and but what I do say though, if your makeup is something that is in a negative connotation, then I'm saying to you, that can be changed.
Yes, it
You
can.
can change
Because
it.
it's something
God
wrong.
can
It's
change it. You
it's
can
the,
change it.
what are they the chromosomes and all of that stuff. Sometimes things can be off. You know what I mean? Like when you're with your makeup, it can be like you could
Okay.
have too many of something or whatever the case may be. I wish Alicia was here, a young lady who is a doctor. I'm putting it. Yes, she is.
put it in the atmosphere.
And if she would be able to talk about the makeup more than I can. I don't know all of that doctor stuff. I really don't. But what I am saying, sometimes there is an imbalance in your body, and when you got more negatives than you do a positive, that's not a good thing. So it's just like you need to, if your thinking of yourself is just negative, and you're saying this is who I am, it's something that's off, and you need more positives, and it starts with the one who created you, and that's God. So I just wanted to hit on that a little bit.
If you guys want to comment or call in, we would love to have you as a radio guest. You can call in 646-233-1302. Again,
Yeah.
646-233-1302 if you would like to be a radio guest and to have your comment
Yeah, hit
on
us
the
up.
air.
Because your voice matters. It really does. Now, I'm shifting a little bit. There was something that I saw was a little disheartening to me. When I saw it, I know a lot of people made fun of it. They had this caption on there. I don't have the caption, but I'm going to just put it on the screen that people could see it
Let me find
right
the
now.
caption.
And this right here is two women that apparently you can look at the picture and you can tell that there has been some altering of their bodies. And they put something up. They said, when did having a lower half that looks like a wisdom tooth, be sexy? And
When did
that
it
right
become
there,
sexy?
yeah, when did it become sexy? And that right there, when I saw this, I was just like, dog, like, what is it that make people go so far? Like, what is it that make you feel like you're not good enough with what it is that you have been given by God. And I get it. You know, everybody wants to be fit. Everybody wants to, you know, be in shape and all of those things. And I really think that the media, I'll say it that way, that media has so much to do with this, because all day long they put in your face what looks good. This is what looks good. You know what I mean? They leave out everybody else and they bring it to this real narrow visual as, if you don't look like this, then it's not beautiful, because they don't call anything else beautiful except for this one thing. And it's just like these women, it was just like, I promise you, I know that it was something that they did. It was by choice. But at the same time, too, I really believe that because of what's in the media and because it's so impressive, how you say it? It's so, you can be impressed by the media so much that this is what you think I have to become to be beautiful, you know, and this ain't it. This is not it, because these are some beautiful women without all of this stuff. I would love to see what they look like before then. And if you want to enhance that, work on it yourself, but don't let somebody cut on you to become something. Because what happens, Joyce, and we spoke about this, what happens after this stuff starts to fall? Anybody? I really am. It was just like that comment. It really was just like, it was people. I didn't even read the comments, but it was so, I can only imagine the comments that went up. But it was so disheartening to me, because I was just like, come on, man, when is enough?
You have to believe that you're beautiful. Sometimes people are trying to keep up with everybody else, and it seems like once they start it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. But you look disproportionate. It reminds me of when I used to take my Barbie. Yes. I used to break her legs off.
Yep. That is so true. Yep.
That's what it reminds me when I saw it.
Remember how her legs used to
That's
be?
how her legs were. And it's
Just
almost
like
like
that.
make me look like a Barbie, but we know that the proportions, they always say if you were to put Barbie's proportions on a real life human, it would be so vastly off from the real average woman. And again, to me, it doesn't even look proportioned. It doesn't look right. And I thought it was Photoshop. Right. Especially Kim's. I was like, this cannot be her body. I think it's Photoshop.
And saw it.
And then we looked and saw it, and I'm like, wow. But again, if that's going to get you the likes, don't forget though, their life style is what people follow. So it's the next new thing. So how am I going to get attention? That could be it. How am I going to get more followers? I'm the one to do the next.
But my thing is, what type of attention is going to be drawn by that? Like, you can't see that looks like disfigurement. That is disfigurement. Like, you look disfigured.
We're asking that, but both of these women make money just on how
they
look.
money. Yeah, they make money to
just how when they look.
Be the shock factor.
But I'm looking at this on the screen. This is not sexy. This is not cute.
But to us,
this is disfigurement.
To us, to some people, this is okay. My thing is with this, it's not just the implants and all that type of stuff. They're also wearing, probably body shapers, crushing their insides. But the thing is though,
it does.
These women wear tight clothes. They lay on the beach. They take some pictures. They have and I know Kim does more than Black China, but Black China is solely famous because of her body, like and having children with various people. But
I can't
not like that. But I'm just saying, it's like what other thing did she do? So like she is selling. I mean, I see her ads. Her ads are laying on the beach with her body halfway out, like halfway, naked. And it's not a judgment, because that's not something that I want to do. So everybody,
hold on
please.
1 second. We got a caller. Y'all want to take it?
Take the call.
Take the call.
Oh, they call back, caller. Call back.
Well, I'll finish, because my thing is, it's just that we look at this and say, okay, this is not what I aspire to. But there are many women that see how they have success just based on looking this way, and they can't afford, let's say they can't afford the normal plastic surgery, so they're going to people's basements. They're allowing people to inject cement and silicone into their bodies so they can mimic this look, because this is the look that is considered the attention grabber. This is the look, oh, look at her behind, or look at this, or look at that. And if you have to, and now okay, you got to think about it too. People started doing this years ago. not really knowing the long-term effects of these chemicals and things being in their body. Now there are women coming out talking about the chronic pain and the chronic problems they're having. Okay, we have a call.
Hey, hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Yeah, good evening, ladies. This is Cam. This is your brother James. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
James,
How are you?
What's going on?
I'm good. I was looking at them pictures that y'all showing, man, and y'all make a lot of good points, but from my perspective, I think it has I think it has a lot to do with low self-esteem too.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because you're trying to keep up with people. Like people got to be comfortable in their own skin. You know what I mean? And a lot of people not for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like I don't get it. But the thing I have a problem with though is that everybody out here working on their body. Don't do nothing about their feet. Toes look like monkey knuckles. I don't,
I can't.
That's a very good
if you go work on yourself, work on everything. You know what I mean?
I can't.
I guess they
don't
hide
forget
the
the
feet
feet.
in the shoes.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
they sure do.
But that's a very
Stick them in the sink.
a very good
done.
comment. Thank you so much.
It's just, I just thought I'd share that. Y'all doing an excellent job.
All right.
And I'm gonna continue watching y'all cast tonight.
All right. Thank you so much. Love you, boy.
I love you too.
Later.
Bye-bye.
We have
But
Angela said wisdom tooth, and Maisha said teeth.
But
Yeah.
that's true. The key point is self-esteem.
Right.
It is self-esteem.
It's self-esteem. If you don't value how you look and you don't value yourself and you don't think of yourself as beautiful, as Pastor preached about today, about peer pressure, if this is what you see out there, think about back in the day when everybody on the cover of a magazine was, light. And then you had all
Light
these
skin.
women
Right.
bleaching their skin.
Right, yeah.
Then you had all these women straightening
Yeah.
their hair. Now you get to see,
Melanin.
powerful black women.
Black girl
now
magic.
people
Right.
are starting to embrace their natural hair.
Right.
And look, I chopped off mine.
Come
you know
on,
what I
and it
mean?
looks
Lord
amazing.
knows I would never
Yes.
have done that a
Yes.
few years ago. Not because I was concerned. I just didn't think of it. I would look a certain way.
Right. Joyce.
But after I see more and more people with it, I was like, wow, I think I can do that. I
Right,
think I can rock
right.
that. But what happens is there's a thing of seeing something and be like, oh, that's nice. And there's a thing of something and being like, okay, I want to be like that, or I have to be like that in order for me to be received. Like, I
Right.
want to be a model. I want to be
right.
a singer. Well, all the singers have big behinds and
Right.
tiny waists. So maybe I got to look like this before I can even present myself.
What was the singer who came out to talk? K Michelle.
K Michelle.
She talked about the pain, and she talked about how she had to have hers removed, and she was saying how she's in the fortunate place financially to get that, but many people are not.
Jesus.
Do we have the other photo of what happens when it goes wrong? Well, that is
no,
wrong.
That we can come back with that
don't
because
have it?
right now we don't have it up, but later on we'll put it
yeah,
up.
there's a
But,
photo.
You know what? I'm sorry. If they would block us for that picture.
Oh, they will?
Yeah, they would block us. They would
had
call
nudity?
it nudity, but it's not because they was hidden.
yeah, it
on
was
the
hidden. It
breast
just
and
showed
her
plastic
behind.
surgery going wrong.
It was.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it was.
and
she
you
was
see how many, and
dismantled.
that comes from being in those basements, and
Right.
it comes from, and, there's people who have,
Jesus.
think about Kanye West's mom.
Yes. God.
Yeah.
She was a beautiful older
Black
lady. No, to me, I didn't see any issues, but I guess being in Hollywood, being around all these people where you're criticized of every little thing, and then you got to think about it when we start criticizing others and when we start comparing people to other people, you got to think about what that could be doing to them. I'm not saying whatever, but she went against her typical doctor's orders and went to another doctor.
They told her no. Yeah, a few people told her no, not to have it.
And went to another doctor to get plastic surgery.
And she died.
And so this is not something that people should take on lightly, but people are doing it constantly. You're hearing about so many people. And K Michelle, think about it, for years this was a success. She was selling more records. She was wearing tight clothes. She was taking pictures like Kardashian. And then when she started talking about the chronic pain and not being able to sit for long periods of time, now it's a problem. But when it was profitable for her, it wasn't a problem.
Right.
It was profitable, but that's the thing. This makes the money. Do you know that they know what's going to make the money? They know that this is going to be the next thing. They talk about the money. I was listening to an interview with Cardi B, and she was saying how she's very disheartened about a lot of things that come with this industry, and she doesn't necessarily want to do everything. She said, but that money, you know what I'm saying? But the money good. And
Everybody
so she wants
talk about
privacy.
the bag.
But then they asked her, they said, well, will you do a reality show? She was like, I really don't want to, but that money on that paper look good, so maybe it ain't that bad. It's about, for many of them, the money.
Right.
But it could be that survival mentality that you never had it, so let me secure myself.
True.
But not at the detriment of yourself.
But it's like too, it's like they don't know the long-term effects. So now K. Michelle is coming out after having this for years, long-term effects. People are getting this done without really doing the research into what could happen.
Oh no!
You know, think about back in the day when people were just getting the breast
Usher's
implants.
ex-wife almost died.
Yeah, she almost died. But what's her name? Toni Braxton. Her breast leaked, and she had to have emergency surgery to have
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so people they don't think about these long term problems. And then even Nicki Minaj, there was a picture of her where her behind didn't look quite right. And
when they start blowing up,
and you know what?
And they act like it's natural until there's something that comes out that proves that it's not.
Right, you're absolutely right. You know what? I wanna. It's on my heart to say something to the fathers, like on some for real. Affirm your daughters. You know, tell them they need to hear that they are beautiful. You know what I mean? They need to hear that they are gorgeous. They need to hear, and I'm speaking from a personal place. You know what I mean? I didn't have my father to tell me that I was beautiful. So I looked to be beautiful. I looked for somebody to tell me that. And when you look for someone to tell you that, it's just like there's no limits. Take the limits off. There's so many fathers out here to say, you know, they say, and you know, not my baby, I'm gonna make sure. But how many do you tell her that she's beautiful? Do you tell her that you love her? Do you tell her? Do you take her out on father-daughter dates? Do you do these things? Do you sit her down and let her know that when somebody says anything contrary to what you say, that it's not the truth? Do you sit down and tell her that she's beautifully and wonderfully made? These are some of the things that I spoke with the kids about today. And I'm going to just be a little transparent, and, you know, I'm not going to beat a dead horse with this. But one of the babies said to me, I told them that when I was younger, the kids were mean to me because they told me that I was ugly. They told me that I was too black. They told me that I was too skinny. And I believed them. I believed what they said over what God had created. And it weighed on me all the way up into my adulthood. And it still taunts me. It still fights with me. That's something I fight with almost, I'm not going to say every day, but a good bit. I'll leave it as such. And as I was sharing with one of the kids, she's 5 years old. She looked at me and she said, what they said to you was wrong. She said, you are beautiful. And she said, you are gorgeous. And tears just wept up in my eyes. And this baby is 5 years old. And her daddy tells her, she told me, she said at 2, I remember I was 2. And my daddy told me that I was gorgeous. My daddy said this to me. And I'm looking at this baby and I'm saying to every father, I'm saying, because I'm saying it to the moms as well, but when it comes from a father to his daughter, I'm telling you, you set them up on what to know about themselves. So I say to you, you sit around and you say, not my daughter. What are you pouring into her? You know, I think it's very important, because I am a product of one who did not have a father tell her that. And I know what it's like to go out looking for someone to tell you. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and hurt. God, I'm not gonna get emotional on this one. I'm not.
You're beautiful, Pam.
It's
you
just
are absolutely.
You are gorgeous,
phenomenal. You are beautiful. You are a Egyptian
you are
goddess, queen
of God.
And that's the thing
of
that I
Nairobi.
know now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to know. I can say that, because fully I don't know it yet.
You gotta know.
And
it.
But it's just like, I promise you, I there was a part of me that if I heard that, I would not even respond to it, because I'd be looking like, yeah, all right then, whatever you say, because I know, okay, it's a catch-22 to that. No, I ain't. You know what I mean? But now I'm just like, yes, I am. So fully do I know it? I've embraced it. And it's just like, it's something that when you didn't have that for years, when you didn't believe something for years, it's just like, it's new. It's a new baby almost. And it's just like, I'm taking care of it. So I'm taking care of myself in a way till now I'm like, I am.
So as a baby, you need to that nourishment, because I didn't have my father didn't tell me that either.
Right.
And I at one point I felt like I blamed my father, because I felt if he would have told me about a lot of things, men, what they were going to say, what they would say to get in my pants and all those things, that I would not have gone that way. And I got to a point I had to stop blaming him. And I said, you know what? I have to start to do the work. I'm not saying you blame yourself, but I'm saying I have to start doing the work. So again, saying it. I don't know if
It's on
No,
my
I think
mirror.
so. Well,
I got it
I'm
on
about
my
to say,
mirror.
you know, I have
It's
it on
my
my mirror.
affirmation. Yes,
I had it
it's
on
my
I am
affirmation.
phenomenal.
Yes.
And my lipstick, my MAC lipstick,
on.
which is expensive, but it was for years.
Yes.
And it's not just to see it, but you
Yep.
say it. You
Yep.
say it.
That's
So
right.
at this point, you have to tell yourself every day more than one time
And I
a
do.
day.
Yes,
Because if you've
I
heard
do.
this so much,
Come on.
it takes 17 positive affirmations to counteract
break it,
one.
yep.
So if you've heard it 1,000 times, it needs to be a constant. I am
Yes.
beautiful, to the point that you do know it and you do believe it, and you don't need a man to tell you.
That's right.
And I got to the point where it's like, oh my God, you are so gorgeous. I was like, yes, thank you. What's
Yep.
next? Because
Yep.
that's not doing it for me.
Come on, it's not.
Because for some, like,
It's
you're
not getting my
beautiful,
drawers off.
And I was about to say the drawers
It's not.
come down.
It's not. They
Legs
used
up
to.
okay.
They used to say "boo," and mine was gone. They was
T4 ain't even come out. Just bew.
just "boo."
Bew.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
yep.
Here you go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, that was it.
And it
That
has
was
to get to that point where
Yes.
that's not the case. And it's like, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Because if you know what you are, okay, what else you got? Like, what's
Right.
next? Tell me
Exactly.
something I don't know.
You're right.
And it's not a conceit, but it's a confidence
Yes, ma'am.
that you have to know. So when they come, you have to give people a chance. And we talked about this too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find out who you are versus who you say.
Come on.
Amen.
You
That's
are.
good. That's it.
Because we quick. And when we have the love of God too, once we get saved, oh, God bless God. No, we dealing with some snakes too. And we
Right.
have to be mindful of that. 'Cause
Slithering
we have these
in
hearts.
the grass.
Oh, well, bless God. Praise Jesus. I used to tell Pam like a couple years ago.
Come on.
The minute somebody say the Lord of Jesus, she be like, oh, we found one. No, not necessarily.
Yep.
Let's hold up.
Yeah.
Because the
You're
word
right.
says not everybody
You're
who
right.
says Lord, Lord.
For real.
And so we gotta be mindful and watch that. But yeah, fathers and mothers, speak to your children. Don't
Yes.
just. And I think it's more now though. You see it a little bit more. And I pray that it's not just for social media. You see the
Right.
fathers with their daughters and stuff like that. But hopefully it's a good influence that you're not just taking her to the daddy daughter dance like because you're supposed to, but
Right.
you're speaking to her.
That's right.
At home.
You know
That's
what?
right.
And I know. This is funny, and I'm sorry, but do everybody remember the Chris Rock special?
Which one?
When he talks about how he did a good job because he kept his daughter off the pole.
Yes, he's
Right.
just off the pole.
Come on.
But it's
Come on.
a
It's-
joke,
it's-
but it's
the
very
truth.
true.
Come
Like
on.
if you
Yeah.
if you
It's the
allow
truth.
your
Come
your
on.
your children to know that they are worthy of greatness and
Yes.
worthy of this and worthy of that,
Come
they
on.
won't fall for just about anything.
Yep.
And I know I have a son. I don't have a daughter, but I know that I used to always tell my son is that, and granted, is he perfect? Lord knows, no. But I used to tell him all the time, don't be a follower. Be your own person. Be who you are. You are great. You can do amazing things. You can do whatever you want. Now, maybe whatever he wants is play video games right now.
That's
I
your
don't
fault.
know.
That's your fault.
But what I'm saying is you empower them to be anything. You don't put limits on them. And when you do that, it makes a great difference. And with women, I know for myself, my dad was present, but not present for some periods. Because he had issues with substance abuse and things like that. And I witnessed my mother, who was very strong and very everything to me, cower to some things. And these were things that made me grow up with my own little insecurities and my own little issues. And to Pastor's point, there has to be something within you that causes a change.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have to get out of the point, out of that position where no one ever did this for me, no one ever did that for me, this never was done for me. Because if you continue to rely on that, you're now using that as a crutch, and you're not allowing yourself to be different. You're not allowing yourself to be great because you keep in that crutch, because that crutch becomes who you are. And some people don't know how to be
Without the crutch.
Like they don't know who they are if they can't say that they're unattractive, or they can't say, well, everybody told me I was ugly, or everybody told me I was fat. Of course, if you want to keep listening to everybody told you that you was fat, then it's going to be harder for you to go to the gym. It's going to be harder for you to try to change that reality if that's what you feel as though your reality is. And if you feel as though that you're ugly, how you can't like what Pam was saying, you can't accept when somebody's telling you you're beautiful.
Yes.
And I went through that
that was hard
for a long time. I was like,
it was hard.
if somebody wants
really
to tell
was.
me that
It
I
was
was attractive, I'd be like, yeah,
hard.
whatever. I would think
Yes.
they were out for something.
And that's crazy
Come
because
on,
we are
yep.
3 beautiful women,
Right.
and having the I don't think I had the I'm ugly thing.
Right.
My thing was always I was fat.
Right.
Because I was the thickest one of all my cousins.
Right.
And they were all very, very thin.
Right.
So I was the fat cousin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had a consciousness of I was always fat. So when I would look back on pictures, I was like, I wasn't even fat. Y'all little skinny punks had me all crazy. But I look back like, oh my God. But I had that complex.
Yeah, that complex.
You know what I'm saying? I was Mikey. They was like, oh, I don't want to give it to Dee Dee. So I was like the human vacuum machine. Little punk cousins. But what I'm saying is that they were very thin. So we look back now. I'm saying I had to empower myself.
Hallelujah.
So when I got out of it, you have to start telling yourself, as three beautiful women, thinking, you know, you grow up with these things, but a lot of people do.
Yes.
And so even Patricia said, she had the flip side of you, Pam. She said people said she was too white.
Wow.
And then, Kiki says self-esteem is taught and not everyone is a teacher.
Amen.
So again, but I like the fact that what Joyce said, we have to do it for ourselves.
Right.
Acknowledge, okay, we can acknowledge something, but you got to come out of that and say, now let me do the work.
Right.
So if you feel like you're still not
Absolutely.
beautiful, let's do the work to get
Yes.
to that point. Because sometimes you see people and we would say like, Dag, I don't think they're aesthetically the most pleasing, but they have confidence.
Come on, that confidence
and
be
it-
through the roof.
Through the roof. And that's what, and men will say, I'm attracted to confidence.
Right.
Me
First.
too.
Right.
And they can also, people can smell your lack of self-esteem.
Yes, and men
they could prey on it.
exploit it.
Come on, don't
Right.
you
If
do
you
it.
look pitiful and you got something going on with you, people
Yeah.
see it and they exploit
it out.
it. And the next thing you know,
They
you
own it.
you are relying on this person for
Yeah.
your
Everything.
confidence in
Yeah.
yourself,
Confidence, your
and they're able
self-worth.
to abuse you.
Right.
I mean, and not even knowing to that person sometimes.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you don't think you can get any better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I
You be
deserve
like, oh,
much.
he's
Yeah.
attractive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he cheating on you every day.
Come on.
And you just be like, well, he my man. He coming home to me.
Yeah,
And you
okay.
kinda
with
like,
what
okay.
disease,
Come on,
with
with he
what,
coming
you
home
know,
with
clap.
everything. Yeah,
You
for real.
Now you
and then
itching.
You be like, well,
and all
I'm
types
married.
of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be like, oh, well, I'm married. Okay, well, I'm not married.
Listen.
And I'm not married because I could not be married.
Right.
I'm not married because I need to wait for whoever is supposed to be destined for me.
You better get
And I
it.
started to have an epiphany that I am worth the wait. I
Come
am worth
on. You better.
everything.
Don't you do it up in here.
Do it,
today.
Joyce.
Come on.
Because I
come
can't
on.
stay married, but that's
Come
all
on.
right. I could get a husband. We ain't worried about that. Listen, if you want to
But
know,
also, too, that's
dial
because-
into nines.
But that's also because you know
'Cause
that you
yes,
deserve
that's right.
better.
776-233-1302 if you want a tip on how
Come
to get
on.
a ring.
Come on.
But no, but seriously though, but even with that, you know, it's so many different things. Because I had somebody say to me, they was like, I'm not trying to be funny. They was like, not that they didn't feel sorry for
Right.
me. They was like, I feel bad about myself because you don't been married. You could get married. I ain't been married once. I said, baby, don't you think it's better to be single and want to be married
Yes.
than marry and want to be single?
And want to be single. You
Don't
better
do it.
say
I've been
that.
in both positions.
You
But
better
I've
say
never
that.
been the one like I had to be married.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I believe
the
too.
devil
For
comes
me,
to you.
I think that's when I realized that my self esteem had improved.
They
I
out
was,
for the
you know,
profit.
I wasn't willing to settle for anything. And when you realize that you know that you're worthy of greatness,
Yeah.
you're worthy
Come
of
on,
more.
Joyce.
And also too, you got to think, just like you may be saying that about yourself, other people are saying that too. So you got to work on you. If you
Right.
work on you and you deal with you and you improve you and you're happy with you,
Yes.
that's where it starts.
Right. Right. You know what? And that leads me into this whole thing with Jaden Smith. Joyce, what you said about you told your son, you said to be a leader. This young boy at the age of 15, he was sitting down at the red table with his mother, his sisters, grandmother, and all of them. And he was talking about, Jada talked about when he was 15,
15.
that it broke his heart
Her heart.
because he moved out. He wanted out. He told his mom he wanted to be emancipated. He was like, I have to leave this house. And she allowed him at the age of 15 to leave home. Me personally, I was just like, no, that would have been, you know, if I would have said something like that to my mama, I don't know if I would have got up first because of the way she knocked me down. Or I don't know if she would have said, get your little stuff. And when you leave, well, matter of fact, you ain't got nothing because you ain't brought nothing. That's what she would say. You didn't buy anything. So you can go. But when you go, you not coming back. You know what I mean? And it was just like, it was just so freeing for them. You know, it was just, I needed to go and all of this and all of that. Like I was feeling some sort of kind of way because I was like, no, like how am I couldn't go to my mama and be like, oh, it's time for me to go, or whatever, regardless of if I seem to be mature enough. My thing is 15 years old, you have no clue. Am I the only one on that?
But they talked about how he was in that bubble. But again, they didn't get into every detail, but I also think Jaden Smith leaving at 15 wouldn't be us leaving at 15, because I'm certain he had enough financial support that he could leave at 15.
But even if he had, say for instance,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he wasn't out there.
If he was your kid, and you knew that financially he had it, this, that, and the third, aren't you still the one, the caretaker, the one to really make the decisions in the house instead of letting a 15-year-old boy make a decision?
I hear what you're saying. I would not have wanted him to leave, and I would not have. See, I had a different situation. I wouldn't have wanted him to leave at all. But think about this. Think about the parents who have a child who rebel and act out and puff up and get in their face, and they kick him out.
You knock him down. Now, see, that's the thing. You puff up to me. You puff up at your parent. My mother used to say to me, I brought you in this world and I take you out.
Yeah, but how many people the child has puffed up and the parent put him out? Because you're not going to be in my house puffing up, raising it. You kind of get what I'm saying?
It.
So their perspective.
But at 15, would you put him out? Or would it when you're 18? Okay, now you want to such and such and such. But my thing is that I had so much reverence. We all did for our parents. We wouldn't.
Everybody doesn't have the same reverence you have for your mom, Pam. I'm not saying I don't.
Fear too, though. But it was reverence.
Everybody doesn't have that fear. Because if you're not raised the way that we may have been raised, I was scared of my mother.
Right.
I wasn't puffing up to nothing. I would cry for my sister, like, why do you keep doing stupid stuff and getting a beating? I got to listen to it. But what I'm saying is that everybody doesn't grow up like that. You have parents who let their kids do anything, say anything to them. They're scared of them. They're smacking their parents. Ooh. So it's different. Like, we can't understand that.
I have no concept to that.
And they were raised in a different way. Somebody say, yeah, Miss Judy showing enough would have set you straight, Pam.
Come on, yes.
But they're raised in a different way. Hey, Teresa. And so, of course, I wouldn't have wanted my son out there at 15 years old. Mm-hmm. You know, I wouldn't want that. They had a different style of raising because she felt that she had this freedom at 15, but it was because her mom was on drugs.
Okay.
So she had to, so she was out there too. And again, they were saying from the time he was like 5, they knew he had this maturity or this independence, this type of personality.
And I get that. All right. So then, let's say that you're sitting down at the table with your kid and y'all talking, y'all sitting at the table and y'all all talking. And one of them just start cussing like it's regular. I mean, we talking, because the S, and they putting words out there. Is somebody gonna stop the conversation? Like for real, are you gonna stop the conversation? I'm stopping the conversation. What in the world?
I didn't curse around my parents.
Right.
But and now I just don't curse.
Right. Of
you know
course,
what I mean?
Yes.
But before I never cursed around my parents.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It was just a thing. However, I have my son's friends. And people of this generation, cursing is like a word. Like, I mean, I witness conversations and I'm sitting back wow, you're talking to, and I'm like, you're talking. I'm sitting there like, yo, you talking to your mom. I'm 40 some odd years old.
Right.
I wouldn't curse on the phone talking to my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my cousin.
For us, it's a level of respect. But some of them curse. Talking to their parents, some of them drink with their parents, all that kind of stuff,
and party with their parents, and smoke with their parents.
Jesus.
So it's a different. I mean, you got to think too.
It's hard for me to see that though, Joyce. Like, I try my best. Like, I'm sorry. I try my best not to jump in, but I'm like, hey, listen, not around me. Don't do that
there's
around me. Like, I can't get.
There's one thing though we got to understand is like everybody has the right to raise their kid how they deem fit.
I get it,
now,
but
and that was one of the key things. What happens
when you get in public? But
what I'm saying is, still their kid. It's still their kid, and they're raising them how they deem fit. It was one of the statements that in that Red Table Talk that
well, I know that's right, James.
that Jada made, and she said that who is she to tell anybody how to raise their child, and so
I
for
hear
some,
that,
but for some people. It's okay. I'm not saying it's not something that I would do. It's not something that, like, my son wouldn't be talking to me in cursing. You know what I mean?
But you do still play. But don't we still play a part as a? You know how they say it takes a village to raise a kid. Don't we still, as a village, can say to a parent like, "Yo, the way that you letting that boy speak to you right now, the way they speaking to you, they're gonna be kicking you behind later." Like that to me, Joyce. I think that I for real, like I feel like
if
it's
my
up to
child
us.
is my child. And if I am okay,
Did you see that man beat that kid in the store that time?
Okay,
When
but
he was
then,
acting up,
but
when he stole
nowadays,
something?
when you beat your child like that in public, you're going to prison.
He wasn't the daddy. The boy was just in there stealing, and he just
what
started
I'm
whooping
saying
him.
is when you do,
And I agreed with it.
no, but if you do that, you're going to prison.
Not necessarily. I know what you're saying. You can't.
You're
go to
beating
prison.
someone else's child.
Yeah, he was beating
you put
somebody
your hand on
else's
my child,
You
you're going
said-
to prison.
You said beat your child. I thought you meant beat
I'm
your own child.
talking about my own child, but
took a belt.
Pam
He was in
said
there
that this
stealing.
is some random person that
was in
just
there
beat
Because
somebody.
Pam does do that. Pam will see
Yes.
something on the street and she'll stop and
Like,
she'll
yo.
want to intervene.
Yeah.
She's like, no, hold her
Yeah.
hand. Why you not holding
Yes,
her hand?
I've
Why you
seen.
not?
Yes, Joyce, I've seen people. I'm walking. I remember one day I was on the phone with Pastor, and I seen this little boy chasing behind his
Wow.
mother's car. She would not stop. I was like, "Yo, I'm about to get hit by a car to jump out in the street to get this little boy," because she wasn't stopping. He was running behind the car, literally crying. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to get hit by a car today, because if this little boy jump in the street, I have no choice but to jump in the street to save him.
That's
how I felt.
That's a very different
Well,
situation than what we were saying.
Angela said there's no
Yeah.
village today, Pam. We don't have
I
a village.
Get it. It's not a village, but my thing is this is Joyce. It's all in raising your kids. If you see your kid running behind your car,
We don't know what
Yes,
she
but-
told the
but-
kid to get in the car, and he said, "No, screw you, mom." And she acted like she was pulling off.
No, she didn't act like it. She was.
Okay.
Well, I'm just
Okay.
saying we
She
don't know the
was stopping.
Okay.
situation.
She was turning the
Okay,
corner.
I can't.
But that's
She was turning the corner,
we
y'all.
don't know what happened.
we get it, Pam. We get
know.
it. All
We
right.
know. We know you're not gonna
understand
run
that
over your kids.
We know that you want us to be your village, and I am your village.
We
When
will
you have
be
your
your
child, I'm
village.
gonna say, sit down. Your mother will watch you stand
Yes,
up.
that's
sit
right.
down.
Yes.
You better not be cursing. But
whoop the mess
what
out
I'm
of
saying
them.
is
Whoop.
today, parents can raise their child however they deem fit. So my thing is, if your parent is okay with something, okay, for instance, at the church, there are two wonderful little children at our church. One of them is named Malachi, and I know that his parents told me that he is not to leave the sanctuary to go to the bathroom by himself.
Right.
So if I see him in the hallway, I'm gonna be like, "Where are you going? What you doing out here?" Because I know what his parents' mandate is.
Right.
Right. Now, if I see another child, their parents may say he can go wherever he want. I can no longer say to that child, "What are you doing out here? Why are you not out here with your parent?" Because their parent gave them permission. So that's what I'm saying is like, we can't supervent. We can't.
Now, if you see the child being kidnapped, we
Oh no,
may try to intervene.
that's not what I'm saying. Of course, we're not going to let something
Joy's like, all right,
happen.
bye.
No, but my
Your mother
point,
should have had you in the first place.
but my point is, you have to know what is acceptable to that parent. Now, the child couldn't curse to me. I'd
Right.
be like, who you think you're talking to?
Right.
But if their mother and father allow that to go on in their situation, I can't
that's-
stop that.
yeah, but see, Pam is the one who's going to say, "You going to let him talk to you like
Yes.
that?" Then
and
they're
they're
going
gonna
to punch you in
probably
the
say,
face.
yes, who are you to get into my business? I
Yeah.
could do whatever I want with my child.
Jesus.
And I'm not saying that
Yes.
you're wrong for having a heart and all that stuff, but I'm just saying is you have to know what the standard is at their home first before you can say this is not right, that's not right, because it could be perfectly right in their home.
It is terrible.
Tamsin said, "Was Jaden off the rails when he asked to leave?" You think he was off the rails? When
It
he asked
didn't
to leave
seem
at
like
15?
When he asked to leave, I don't think he was disrespectful to his parents. I don't think he was. I would not have let my 15-year-old son go, because at the end of the day, it's just like, what would I be putting him into? That's my only concern, is that at 15, you are, regardless of how mature you are, I have met jokers that are 40 that act like they're 5. You know what I mean? So with
But
all
I
that
really
being-
don't think he had a full 15-year-old leave the house moment. I would think with all their money, they probably had a
Probably had a
bodyguard
house
watching
next
him.
door.
You get what I'm saying? Or they probably had somebody watching little 15-year-old Jaden, or cameras in the house. I just don't think
Well,
he had
a
to say.
nanny that used to be
Oh,
at the other house.
exactly.
You know,
I think mommy might not have been there, but I don't know. But I don't think that he would have had this 15-year-old, like our 15-year-old leaving. We don't have a clue.
I wouldn't have gave it to. I'm
okay,
with
I mean,
you on it. I really, I
You
wouldn't
know,
have
I
gave it
don't
to him
think
because
that necessarily.
But you have
too
little-
much freedom.
But
is
you
too
know,
much.
Jaden is not the only one.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of child stars that have taken their parents to church. I mean, not to church, to court,
To court, to get
be
emancipated.
emancipated
Yeah.
because their parents were misusing their money,
Yeah, I get
spending their
that, yeah.
trust. So I mean,
Good,
like,
Donnie.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
reasons why children
go live
leave.
with my
But in his case, he seems to have left because he wanted to have an opportunity to be his own person. But the one thing that she said was that she knew as soon as the earlier she let him leave, the sooner he would come back.
Yeah.
So my thing is like you also have to get to the point where you know your child.
Yeah.
Like I knew my child, right? My child could not go to Westside High School.
Right.
Right. Joyce tried to punk him. Wait, Kasha says she can't let a child disrespect her. Angela said they're going to punch you in the face. Yeah. I guess if you don't raise it right. Donnie said at a certain age he screens his child's friends, which I think is great.
I used to do that too.
Yeah.
That's good.
But Joyce tried to threaten her son, like, if you don't get it together, you're going to go to Westside. I'm paying all this money for you to go to private school. And she pulled up and took him in. She saw the metal detectors and all this stuff. And she was like, oh my God, he can't go here. He can't go there.
Yeah.
But again, she said that a lot of times we have control. Like, he's my child, and she was saying they don't belong to me.
Right.
They're their own person.
They're their own person.
And
So
part
there's a
of what she said, I didn't think about it this way. She said because the sooner I equip them to be their own person and to know who they are, the easier it'll be for them to navigate this world. And how many of us are so sheltered that when we get out in the real world as adults, we're like, we don't know what to do.
Right.
We don't know how to make decisions. We don't have the confidence to do it because we've never had to.
Right.
And then some people don't leave the house at 18. Some people don't leave the house. They're 30 years old in somebody's basement. You got to go. Because then it's like, okay, when do I let them go? He should have been going, or she should have been going. You can't be
But sometimes parents can't let go. But
Joyce Barry.
I'm not saying any. But Pam, think about how your connection with your mom, and Jonathan's connection with me. So I mean, it is very
but
true.
But is it crippling at this point?
And it is, and I'm not saying that it's not. It's very crippling.
Wow.
Of course. Now she's been telling me this for a very long time, so she's really happy about pushing that button, y'all.
Yeah, she's happy about that button tonight.
Yeah,
you know what?
Happy.
I want to slide for just a moment into this one thing. I want y'all to see what I think is a cute couple. Nikki and
look at the screen. This is.
I know that everybody been. Trash. I know that it. I know that it's not true. But I was just like, I loved M's swag from when he first came out.
I'm not saying nothing about it.
And it was just like Shady. Nikki made this. She did something. I think it's on her new album, and she said something. She's like, once Shady go black, he'll never go back.
Ooh.
And she did this.
Shady been black. Shady is black.
She did this whole she was sitting down and somebody asked her, was she dating him? She said, yeah. And now they got this whole little thing that they playing around back and forth, which in fact, I don't think they're dating, but Nikki is single. Her and Nas broke up in January. So with all of that being said, my thing is that what do people think about interracial dating? I think they would be a fly couple. I'm just saying. I think they would be a fly couple. They cute together. I don't know.
I can't. Why do people say that they cute together? What does that mean?
Listen, I know that I can't. I'm not gonna go down the whole line of being all spiritual about the situation because I don't know where they are with God. I hope that they okay and that they good. You know what I mean? But to date and to get to know each other, just a little go out on a little date, on a real date.
Here we go.
I think to go out on a real date, I think that it would be real cute. You know what I mean? I think that it would be cute. But I wanted to get into the depth of the interracial dating part because I want to know sometimes why do black men get upset when a sister dates a white guy?
It's not just black men.
I know it's vice versa. Yeah, some women get upset as well too. But that was I seen some dudes be like, yo, he can't come through here. Like, nah, he can't even roll through this spot right now.
Wow.
Like so why is that? Like I want to hear from y'all.
I've heard some men say, they're taking all our African
and
queens.
even to the sisters. Why
but look how you treat. But look how some of y'all treat your African queens.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So
true. Would you date a white guy?
I have not. No. I dated a Puerto Rican a long time ago.
Okay.
And again, I'm saved now, y'all. I'm the pastor, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't date a white guy before, but I messed with a white guy before.
Okay. Yeah.
And I almost threw up when
I can't.
No, seriously, because I'm not used to that type of hair. And I'm talking about his chest. Like I was kissing his chest and I almost threw up because it was like Joy's hair.
Right.
But it was straight. And I was like, I didn't know what was happening because I'm used to Apollo Creed. Like,
right.
this is not right. Okay, I gotta stop. So I was like, all right, I'm done.
Oh God, I love her.
But I'm
love
not
it.
saying that I would not. You know what I'm saying? I love my black men.
Right.
You know what
Yes,
I'm saying? I love
absolutely.
a black brother. But I'm not saying that if a white brother came and
White
Right.
brother
A white-
don't go together.
a white brother don't go
White
together.
brother.
A white man or gentleman, and I believe he had to be sent from God and all this stuff.
Yes.
And kind of look like Tatum. What's his name?
Oh, he is
my
fine,
God.
girl.
Can't
That-
take pie.
Yes.
Or
him.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Woo! Say it. I wouldn't care
Jesus.
if he was 60 looking like that.
Jesus on the main line.
Pull up. God,
So,
is he the
you know,
one?
I would have a certain, you know what I mean? Like, all right, cool. But again, I love my black brothers, but I'm not
Yes.
against,
Right.
you know, something else. But right now, I'm just chilling. So
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, Joyce,
come
where you
on,
at?
come through.
Joyce is not dating
Okay.
outside of her race.
All right, I've always said that I want myself a African American
Yes,
male.
yes, and nothing
All
wrong
righty,
with that.
hallelujah.
You know?
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, ain't nothing
but
wrong with that.
I will
at all.
honestly say,
Good, Phil.
after watching a movie called Something New,
Yes.
Come
one
on.
of my favorite movies,
Come
I am
on.
open.
Come on.
And I realized that you can't really put,
I don't know
you
if
know,
Joyce is open.
I'm open.
I know you, Joyce.
in my mind.
See, I know you, Joyce.
I am. I'm open. So, but after watching Something New, I was open because look, she had an opportunity, and you just saw it. Like the white guy in that movie was just better.
He
She
was into
happy.
her. Yeah,
He
not the
loved
status,
her.
the thing.
He
Yeah.
wasn't into her for what she had or what, it wasn't because she fit a status quo or anything. That was one of my favorite movies. When he gave her that book called Kenya's Web, I was just done. But anyway, I am more open. And I don't have, and let me say this, I have no issue with other people who date outside their race. None at all. I
Yes.
think it's great if you find somebody that loves
That
you for
loves
you.
you, yeah.
It don't matter if they're Chinese, African, Haitian, Dominican, whatever. If you find someone that loves you for you and embraces who you are, that's all anybody can ask for.
Right.
So that is by no means, I speak nothing against any of that. I know plenty of people who have dated outside their race.
You lying.
I'm not lying. I have no issue
I
with other
dated a
people.
Haitian, and you
Oh.
clown me.
Okay.
You clown me. She was like, "Oh my God, no! They're gonna walk around with socks and
Whoa,
sandals."
whoa.
And
I didn't
barrettes in
say
their
I
hair.
wouldn't have some jokes for my close friends.
She clowned me.
She
Ooh.
and I wasn't as
She was
saved
like,
as I
"He-
am.
Yeah,
Now
she
that
was-
was that was
yeah.
before Something New though.
Yeah, she was-
That was
Oh,
before
that was before
Something
so-
New.
okay,
She wasn't
so she's
even- she
evolved.
wasn't-
Go ahead,
and
continue,
she
Joyce.
married
She wasn't.
You ain't got to put everything out.
a Haitian.
See,
And I
yes.
just said that
She
their
said it.
children were going to have big bowls and we're going to
And
wear
yeah,
dress.
she was. Yeah,
Enjoy-
she
dress
was
shoes,
talking-
that's
sweat socks.
racist.
Yeah,
But that was
yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah, that was before
That was
she
that was
met
before
Jesus.
Something New. That was yes, that was before I
Before she
I
met
knew the
Jesus.
Lord.
Yep, come on, yeah.
Yes, Jesus.
Mhm.
Thank
Yes,
you, Pam. That
praise
was
God.
before I
That-
knew the
yes,
Lord.
it
I
was.
don't
Come
think that
on.
way anymore.
She does.
I have been delivered.
Such a beautiful woman. Such a beautiful person.
Pam is
yes,
just
yes,
Pam-
she
Pam-
is. Come on through.
I have been
You
delivered.
You already
But
know I'm
I
repping her
I
all
can
night.
honestly say though, that I really believe that love is great. And if you
Yes.
find somebody that loves you regardless of their nationality, their race, and all that, it's great. Now,
Right.
my preference would be someone of my same heritage. And the reason why is because I feel like that's a place to start where you have a common ground. I've seen people who've gotten together in interracial situations and like they may be okay with it, but someone's family members may not be okay with it, or they don't,
Shame on them.
it causes
Yeah.
frictions in
Shame
other
on them.
ways. Or, I've known
So,
people
yeah,
who've
shame
had
on them. Love
biracial
don't have
children
no- yeah,
that
no
have grown
color.
up with
No color
issues because they didn't know where or how to identify. Or if one side of the family may have some people who did not like a particular race that you may be part of. So that was always my thing, but I have no issue with dating outside.
That's dope. All
But
right, so
in regards to
kudos.
Nicki Minaj and Eminem,
I think it's a
I
play.
just
Yeah,
But I like
play.
Eminem.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
don't
love
listen to
Eminem.
stuff now, but I love him as a lyricist. I just
Yeah, I love
and I don't
Eminem.
know her. I just know I
don't
think
like
he has
her.
more substance.
I don't like her.
But again, we don't know
I think it
her
would be
to not
cute.
like her.
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what?
it would
You know
be-
what?
I know you don't
I
like
think
her,
she
but
might be looking for somebody to write some more of her lyrics.
I can't. And on that note, what we gonna do?
Okay, so-
we gonna hit this song. we gonna hit this song called
That's the wrong button.
Boot Up. We gonna come to this joint, boot up.
They
We're gonna
should
play a
not
little
have
bit
put
of
me
this
on the
joint, and we're gonna
buttons.
come right back and talk to y'all.
Amen.
Feelings so deep in my feelings. No, this ain't really like me. Can't control my anxiety. Feeling like I'm touching the ceiling. When I'm with you, I can't breathe. Boy, you do something to me. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go. How many ways can I say that I need you, baby? It's true. I think I might die without you. Feeling all over my body. You know how I like it. Ain't gotta tell you what to do. Yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Yeah. Ooh, no, I'll never get over you until I find something new that get me high like you do. Listen to my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do, boot up, and my heart go bottom, boot up, beady-da-do. It just won't stop, it go. Head over heels in love, right in front of you, I ain't gotta look no more, baby. I wanna build this love, and everything you own, you ain't gotta ask for. You got me boot up, boot up, boot up, boot up. So you
Yo, listen, that boot up right there.
Man want to be booed up.
And you know what? I do want to be booed up. I'm not even gonna front.
I'm
and
booed up
lie,
with Jesus.
But I tell you what, that's what I'm gonna let you know. I'm booed up right now with God. I honestly, if it could be different, I would accept it. But I truly don't want to be outside of God's plan, because if I'm not booed up with Him first, then it's just like I'm gonna be messed up, because I'm gonna be counting on somebody else to make me feel the way that I truly should feel, which only could come from God. You know what I mean? I want something to be added. I don't want somebody to come in and try to and take the spot of who my real king is. You know what I mean? And that's Jesus. So
get booed up with Jesus first.
You better sure enough
and then
make it right.
And
now
He'll send you to the natural one on the earth.
Now I want to touch on this. I want to touch on this. When the reason for playing boot up was that it's a 4-letter word, and it's actually 2 4-letter words. It's lust and it's love, and it's love and it's lust.
Okay.
And my thing is that they both start with an L, got 1 vowel, 4 letters. Why do people always get them so mixed up? You know what I mean? Some people be like, "Oh, I love you," but it's just, Joker, you don't even know what love is. What are you talking about? You don't know what love is. Okay, what do you love about me? Oh, your body. You know what I mean? It's your body. Joker, you lusting after me.
That's
It has nothing to do with love. Why do people get that so misconstrued? You know what I mean? Construed. What is that?
Well, you have to know the person what their version of love is. Some people have their own. You know, you grow up, you may have a understanding of what love is. Somebody else may have an understanding of what love is. So maybe that's their understanding. That could be it.
Right.
That this is love.
Most people think love is this, laying down and clapping bellies together. You know what I mean? That's what they think love is.
Okay, it's a clap thing.
Yeah, clapping bellies.
Okay,
That's it.
I ain't never heard of clapping bellies.
Oh, you
but
never heard of it? Okay, yeah, that's
all right.
Yeah.
This must be the new generation.
But some people feel like if I love you, this is what I do next.
Right.
But like you said, do you love me? Is it my body? Is it just to have? If it's just that, if you love me, you don't need my body to go with it because it's about me. You know what I mean? And so, and you do have the people. If you love me, you would do this. If you love me.
Right.
No, I do love you, but it doesn't mean I have to give myself to you. And you're talking about out of the confines of marriage. But a lot of people, this generation, is what you do. Even our generation, not just this generation, it's more rampant. It's like now you don't even have to go on a few dates. It's just like we bang it, and that's what we do.
Yes.
But sometimes we confuse it. You know, you think about the person off I think about you all the time, girl, and you on my mind. Okay, let me see how much I'm on your mind in about a year and a half.
Right. So my thing, okay, so what is the difference between lust and love? Because some people say, I feel, well, how do you know that you love me? I feel it. You know what I mean? I feel it. So my thing is that is love, do you think that some people are deceived by what they feel?
Of
And
course.
they're putting it in the wrong category? You know, you understand what I'm saying? Because what's the difference? Like, if you had to tell somebody, okay, well then you telling me that I don't love this person, then, and I'm lusting after them, tell me the difference. What's the difference? What's the difference between lust and love?
Is it a selfish thing? Is it more about me, how I feel, or more? You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
How I feel about you.
Wow.
Because sometimes you can say I love
That's
you so
good.
much. Let me just give an example. It's like if I'm
That's
not
good.
okay. Let's say I have plans for a date, right?
Okay.
And we made these plans for this particular on the 14th. You know, we're going to go. We're going to have a date. And on the 14th, I'm not feeling good. I'm sick.
Come on. Yes,
Right? I
ma'am.
don't feel well.
Come on.
And now, mind you, he's telling me he loves me and all this stuff, so I don't feel well. So, what would your response be, Joyce, if we had a date plan? You love me, I love you, okay? And we don't see each other that often, so we're doing this thing, and I feel sick on that day, or I don't feel well. What is your response?
Are you okay? Do you need me to bring you anything? We can do this another day. Just let me know when it's convenient for you.
Okay, because you're thinking about what? Me. The lust is, oh, wow, I hope you feel better. Well, when I see you, I take care of you. When I see you, I'll make sure you're good. No, you shouldn't even, because you're still considering you. It's like, when I see you, no, I just told you I don't feel good.
Jesus.
So somebody who loves me, it's like, no, you get your rest. I know we had this plan. I know it's an event, and we had this big day plan, but you don't feel well. I want you to rest up. If there's anything I could do to bring to you or send to you, cool. But no, we will do this another time, because I care about you more than I care about me wanting you. Because if I love you, I'm considerate about you.
You said me wanting you.
Yeah, because that's lust. I love you, so you get better. You feel better. Whatever we got, I'll see you another time. I'm not going to ask you to. You don't feel good, so why am I going to ask you to get up, get dressed, come out? Because well, we got this date plan. Yeah, but I don't feel good.
Right.
So when you love somebody, you're considerate. You're more considerate of them than you are of yourself. And I'm not saying not to consider yourself, but I'm going to look to make sure that you're good.
Right.
And say, no, boo, you don't feel good. Don't you worry about that. Well, you spent money on the dinner. Don't you worry about that. I'll cancel the reservations, whatever. You feel better. I got you. And we will do this another time.
Wow. Okay. So is lust more than just feeling? Because some people think, is it more than just sexual? Because some people probably just like, oh, okay, just thinking from a one track mind. Like, is lust just sexual, Joyce? Can you lust after something besides something sexual? You know what I mean? Because when you hear lust, it's just like boom.
You ever heard people say food porn? They lust after food.
Okay.
And it's like, oh my God, I can't get enough, and I want to eat, and it could be almost an addiction.
Right.
Yep.
So lust is like it's addicting. It's something that's like it's not.
We're going to look up the term.
So is that why it's mistaken as love? Is that why it looks like it could be love? Like it's almost. It seemed like it could be, but it's the counterfeit of love. It's the counterfeit.
I'm looking up the definition, but one thing I think, and what I heard, Lord, bring it back. It's like lust is of the flesh, love is of the heart.
That's good.
When your flesh wants something, I want this food, I want this thing, I want this thing, I want. It's the gratification that comes with. It's a craving, it's a gratification. Love is like, this is what I want to give, versus what I want to get. Hey, come on, Jesus,
that's good.
Yes.
I'm saying, like, I want to get. If I love you, I want to give you my love. If I lust you, I want you. I want the food. I want
That's so good.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
But also too, like to me, like
That's good.
love is when you have to be vulnerable to be in love. Most of the time when you lusting after somebody, you're not vulnerable. It's pride, it's ego, it's a lot of that. It's like a conquering spirit and all that type of stuff. Like you want this, you want that. I want to show you this. It's not like I want to prove that.
It's a
self gratification piece for lust. But with love, you're vulnerable.
Yeah,
you're completely vulnerable when you really love somebody. That person has the ability to hurt you. That person has the ability, and if you don't get to that point, it's never love.
But a lot of times with love too, I want to show you my love. Even in friendship, like I bought you a car, like I love you. We were Joyce was helping me clean up some stuff for the house because we got to do the basement, and we're going through stuff. And it was so funny because she was saying something. I was like, "You're getting on my nerves. You're pissing me off right now."
She's ready to kick me out.
Then we found. She said, "Oh, I found a card you never opened, but we know it's her hand." She's like, "It's for me." I said, "I hope it speaks to me in this moment." It was funny. It was like, "I love you." She was like, "Oh, see, I love you." But as my friend,
as your best friend,
as my best friend, randomly, she'd be like, "Just want you to know that you're loved." So it's not getting from me; it's giving to me.
Right.
Lust is a craving that I have. Love is what I want to give. If I love you,
wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
And we talked about that, a type of love.
And you know what? It's something because it's like they can run so close together, but they are not.
You can have a lust for money, can't stop, can't get it. But then when you love, you want to give your money. You want somebody to be blessed by what you have. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
And it's not about what you can get.
One is the flesh, one is the heart.
It's not about what you can get all the time.
It's what you could give too.
It's more about what you can give. And it's interesting because for a long time I thought I loved people.
Right.
Over time, I had even had a conversation with Pastor years ago saying I don't know if I was ever truly in love until like to a certain point.
Right.
There was a certain point where I realized I was truly in love. Yeah. Right. But before that, it was like, my son's father, there was periods where I was like, okay, was this really love? I never really was completely this or never really completely that. Right. And so I started to question some things. And then I started to realize what love must have meant to me. Right. And then that's when I realized that love really meant that the person has the ability to hurt you. Wow. In all honesty, you have to be completely vulnerable. You have to be completely, you can't be guarded and be truly in love.
You're absolutely right about that. And you know what, I would y'all already know we can go on and on and on, but right now it's time for, you already know, I don't know but
what time is it?
It's the crossover right now.
It's time for JB on Sports. Come on, Joyce Berry.
It's gonna be a little short today, y'all. It's gonna be a little short today. But last week we talked about the GOAT. And the question if there should really be a debate on the greatest. But all I want to say to all those people who was going in about LeBron, Michael Jordan's never been swept. Right now, he watching. Michael Jordan has never been swept. Neither has Kobe. So that's all I want to say.
But you know what though, I can speak on it. I didn't watch the games honestly because I had a lot that I had to do. I couldn't do it. But just listening, I did get a moment the other day to watch the. When LeBron was doing the interviews
about his supposed broken hand and all that.
Yeah, about his broken hand. I thought that he was very poised. I really do. I really do think that he handled it very well because you can see the hurt, you can see the disappointment, you can see all of those things. And it was just like I really think he handled it very well. Like he was. One lady had talked about how much he matured. She was talking about his maturity level.
So, to a point,
Yeah, she was just like, it was some things that she saw that he did before, and he was immature, but she was just like, he's grown.
But you do know after really game one, he punched the chalkboard and damaged his hand, right?
And I get that because sometimes, I know it wasn't right, but
that's not mature, I'm telling you.
But you know what? Sometimes you have your moments. Sometimes we all show out sometimes. You know what I mean? We all do. We all show out. And it's just like, you know what? There were times when I would punch a glass. So it's just like, I get it. You know what I mean?
Here's my scar.
Yeah, so it's just like, with all of that, he was so put together in that. No. I was just like crude ups to him.
Yeah, you know what it is? When you talk about kudos. Yeah.
It's just, I was like,
it's just that LeBron and it's just the debate about the greatness, and it's just the debate about some of the things that has been going on. But everybody knows that once basketball season championship has happened, so we know we have crowned the Warriors this year's NBA champions, and everybody has their say about KD or Curry getting the MVP. So there's been a lot of different things on social media about that. But the thing that we are so looking forward to, I know every single person that follows any type of sport is looking forward to September the 6th, everybody. September the 6th is going to be opening game. And opening game is Philly and Atlanta. Come on. Now, Philly would have never started the season off, but they won the championship last year. So here we go.
All right.
So here we go. All those Eagle fans, I know y'all so very happy. However, the game that you must watch, Giants and Jacksonville. Yes, Giants and Jacksonville. 1 o'clock game. Mark your calendars, September the 9th. You got football season will be in full effect. It does not really start until the Giants play. So let's check it out this year. Let's check it out this year. We got some new blood coming on. We don't just have number 13. We got a new running back coming in. You know, we got Eli revived. No more nonsense. New coach. It's time to make some things happen. So for everybody tuning in, JB on Sports is going to sign out right here. But I'm going to tell you next week when we come back, we're going to be talking about all these wonderful football teams. We're going to be talking about the draft that's going to be coming up. You know, the Knicks got the number 9 pick. We know we can't get past that. I don't think we had a number 1 pick since Ewing. But it's our time, y'all. It is our time. We have a new coach. Let's see what happens with him. But if you are a Knicks fan, you know that this is going to be a rebuilding year. So we're going to be happy about the rebuild, right? We're going to be really happy about the rebuild. We're going to hope that they trade Porzingis, number 6. We need him to go. I don't know. I know everybody feels some kind of way about him. I know he's supposed to be the hope, the great white hope of the Knicks. Not feeling him too tough. But we're going to make some things happen this year. So everybody rep your team, put up your football teams, put up your basketball teams. So next week when we come in, I'm going to have a little bit to say about each and every one. So come on, y'all. Let me know your teams. Let's represent. We know we got a Cowboy fan here.
James said Cowboys.
Yeah, we got a Cowboy fan here, you know. But we will see. I am so happy that y'all coach is Jason. Y'all keep him.
I can't.
Philip Lewis said Detroit Lions for life. Win or lose, baby.
Poor thing. Detroit, come on. Come on. Y'all treated Barry Sanders bad. That is why y'all have this curse going on right now. Y'all never going to win a championship until y'all come out and publicly apologize to that man.
Killed the whole team. You know what?
So we're going to pass it back over to Pam so we can get back into the next segment.
From JB on Sports.
Yes, you know what? I'm gonna take a moment because I want y'all to listen. Take a listen to this song. This is my summer anthem, and I think it's gonna be yours too. Check this out.
Born from a woman, made with a man. On that 19, I made my entrance. Maybe you know me, and maybe you don't. One thing's for sure, I know who I am. You can't judge a book by the cover, and don't know what's inside of it. I can't agree with you if it don't make sense.
Yo, so many people. I didn't even know about this record. I'm telling y'all, I heard this record and it just immediately became just something that I couldn't stop listening to over and over and over again, because there are so many people that feel misunderstood. And you know, we got a segment that we call What We Pastor Say, but I'm a just hold off on that for a minute, because I want to talk about misunderstood, because there are so many people that feel like that, and then there's so many people that people make them feel misunderstood, and they embrace that. But before we get into that, I want to talk about something that I saw. I believe it was in Africa. I can't remember what part it was in, but there was a pastor who actually did some he was doing a baptism, and it was 80 people, including himself, which actually that was 81 people. And they were in the water where they talked about, it was known that alligators come and, you know, they eat people. You know what I mean? Just to be straightforward with the situation. For one, I wanted to know, why were they in this water? Why are you going to baptize somebody? Why are you going to baptize? And it's not funny, but it's kind of just like, yo, wait a minute. Why are you going to baptize me in some water that you know alligators be in? If that be the case, you better take me to somebody's house and dip me in the tub. Why didn't they think that way, opposed to, or either put me in a ditch or something and dip me in?
But you got to tell them what happened, Pam.
All of this. Okay, let me just tell you what happened. With all of that being said, they were in the water, and the pastor was the only one that the alligator attacked.
Not attack. He killed him.
Yeah,
he ate him.
He drug him off. Like, but they got him back, but he was dead.
Who put those alligators up there?
So my thing was that why was the pastor the only one that got ate? That's the thing that got me, because I was like, and they specifically said that it was 80 people. I'm not saying nothing about the man. I hope that this is not so. But what was wrong with him that he was the only one that got ate? It wasn't. No, I'm not gonna say what was wrong. Was there something wrong?
He was misunderstood.
Cause come on, yeah, cause something. I promise you.
It just seemed like, you know, if you look from a spiritual aspect.
Yes, from that aspect.
From a spiritual aspect, Leviathan.
Hallelujah.
Go read Job, is characterized as a water, like, you know, when we think of Leviathan, for those of you who get a little deeper, a crocodile or alligator, which is the symbol of a lot of pride, okay?
Jesus.
And so this pastor, out of 81 people, he's the only one that was not just attacked, that was killed. He was killed by the alligator. I said, okay, it sounds like God's judgment about something. Jesus. Because you would think,
it sounds like.
It sounds like it.
That's what it sounds like.
Woo.
Out of all them people.
Out of all the people, the pastor is the one who
He's
got,
the one.
and they watched it happen, and they were trying to save him with the nets.
Yeah, you go to dip me down. Just imagine, you got somebody in your arm. You got to. You dipping. You understand what I'm saying? And you just going to jump up and get me?
Only the pastor. Yeah. It's kind of like the story we told with with Jehoshaphat and Ahab, and a random boat just hit the one that they were after. Come on, people don't want to see things from a spiritual aspect, or they don't want to receive it. God would never let that happen.
Yes, he will.
You don't know that's the judgment that he had. Okay, we want to go in here, and first of all, like you said, why would you take your people to a area that is infested, or that we know most likely, or more than likely, we know that alligators are here? You're not even thinking about your people.
You're not. Yes, exactly.
You're not thinking about your congregation. We're going to baptize.
They took Sister Sarah, but that's all right. Come on, we're going.
Yeah, we're going like the River Jordan.
Yes,
and you're taking them to an area that you know are populated with crocodiles and alligators. You're not thinking about their safety. So you're like, come on, we singing, come to the border, or whatever.
Yes,
come to the border.
Right.
you left. He got you.
Yeah, you the one.
You said, pass away, pastor. They was trying to save him.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yes,
so sorry.
And they done
Hallelujah.
Listen, they done took who the pastor now?
What the fake?
I hope there was a Joshua. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying though, so we gotta listen.
Come on, you better make sure you right.
That was something else.
If you ain't right,
that was interesting.
Listen. God is doing some things nowadays to where, people are leaving up out of here. You acting, you around there preaching, doing all this, that, and the third.
Wow.
Okay, dropping
Stop playing
dead.
with them. Stop playing
for
with
real.
them.
Like, stop. This is real.
And then some people don't want to believe it. That's not God. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Play with them if you want.
Remember that this may be a touchy topic for some, but there was a word that was released years ago, and I know God used me to release it, and the same word was released, I know, at a church in Georgia, and prophetically God said people are going to begin dropping dead.
Yep.
People in pulpits are going to begin to start dropping dead.
Wow.
And within a month, I think, we heard of three different stories of three different pastors and leaders who boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Who begin listen
right after each other.
play with it if you want to.
They weren't
Stop
they weren't in oceans and rivers. They just
they just come on.
Just dropping. And you know what? With all that being said, we are at our moment when we talk about this beautiful lady here. Listen, I don't know if y'all know anything about this here,
Don't
but
you
if
get
you
in trouble.
don't have this book, you need to get The Hidden Affair. This woman right here, over here to my left, I gotta look at my hands. To
you
my
know what?
left, I'm telling you, this book right here, The Hidden Affair. We'll talk about this a little later. But my thing is that you can get it dorothydenise.com. Also, I want to go back to misunderstood. And this is what would pastor say. So I want you to talk to me about being misunderstood, because there are so many people that feel like they are so misunderstood. And I know that there are people, and you know what, I can relate to that, because there was a time when I felt like I was so misunderstood. Like nobody knows me, nobody gets me, so I might as well just fade to the black. You know what I mean? I might as well just stay over here. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna such and such and such. But it was some things was internal for myself that I didn't know of. And then at the same time too, there were some that made me feel that way. They made me feel misunderstood. And it was just like, it made me feel so awkward. I felt like the awkward one, like, dog, nobody gets me. So why would I open my mouth? Why should I say anything? And my thing is that, what do you say to a person like that? How do you help somebody in that mind frame?
I think that if you're saying that you were misunderstood, a lot of times that's on you to make people understand who you are, because we don't say anything. We have an internal dialogue sometimes in our mind, and we need somebody to, we talked about this. If you have a internal dialogue and you're the only one speaking, or the enemy or whoever is speaking, you don't have anyone to interrupt your thoughts.
Right.
So you may be misunderstood because you've never said that this is who you really are.
Wow.
This is who you really are. This is what you really like. This is what you don't like, versus letting people decide who you are. And we just don't speak. So I think it's difficult to be misunderstood if you let people know who you are.
Right, but
you know what I mean?
But even when you I get exactly what you're saying, because you're absolutely right. But when you start speaking, you still are misunderstood. Like you still get this but I'm misunderstood though. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's anybody else. I feel like there's other people. I know that there's other people out there that feel the same way that I did. You know what I mean? Because I actually feel, thank God, I feel a lot better, because it's just like I know that at some point, it's just like, dang, like they don't get me.
Okay, how about this? Once you say and communicate your thought process, what you believe, what you feel, okay, you've done your part.
Okay.
It's not necessarily that you're misunderstood. They just may not agree.
Amen.
And you're trying to get them to agree, not that they don't understand. So you're feeling like, okay, you don't agree with me, so you must not understand me. No, I understand you, I just don't agree.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay.
Because once you've communicated you're who you are and what you're thinking at that moment or about the topic, I believe you may be thinking, okay, y'all don't get it. You're misunderstanding me. That's not what I'm saying. They could just not agree.
Okay.
They heard you, and once you've communicated that part, you've done your part.
Okay.
You can't convince everybody to agree.
And you should never try.
And you should never try. You know what I'm saying? Once you say your part, and they could decide, no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You're trying to explain. I've already done the explaining.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody has a different thought process, a different perspective, and they could decide, well, that's not who you used to be, or that's not what I think you are. You can think what you want, and you can keep me in the past in your mind if you want. You can think that, but once I tell you A, B, and C, it's A, B, and C.
Okay.
If you keep hearing something else, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying, but I'm not misunderstood. You just don't agree with what I'm now stating.
And they're trying to alter your reality too. you kind of like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, you can say your piece and you can say what you're about and you can say what you represent.
Okay.
But if you are so concerned with everybody agreeing with you and trying to prove your point to everybody, then eventually you start kind of what Pastor was saying today. You kind of succumb to the peer pressure. And you even change what you misunderstand. You want to misunderstand it yourself. Like, do I really feel this way? Do I really this or do I really that? So to Pastor's point, it's really, really, really true.
You got to say it. You got to, and I've had that experience. A lot of people say, yeah, I don't understand me. And I say, okay, well, tell me. I never mind. Okay, I don't understand you. If you have a thought process and you can't share it or you won't share it, how do I understand you? If you break down, never mind, forget it, you're not going to understand. You already tell me I'm not going to understand. Communicate it. Tell me.
Okay, and I definitely get that because it makes sense. But how do you help someone who has not been one to express that seem like they feel like, I should say, they don't know how to express? What would you say to them, okay, to help them to be able to express themselves? How do you get that out? Like, what would you say?
Different strategies. I would say, I will let them feel comfortable. I'll let them know I'm not judging you. Whatever you need to say it's fine. I don't want you to feel like you're being judged, because most people don't share because they already have a notion of what you're going to think or say.
Wow.
And then I would say, all right, or write it down, put it in a journal, put it in a letter, and give it, because some people can write it. And because I do know when many people don't communicate, it's not because they don't know the words. They are already prejudging what's going to be said or thought about them. So it's like, you don't understand me. No, you think I'm going to have this judgment or opinion of you, but you won't give me the opportunity to do so. So even if it's send me a letter, write it, text it, we have to stop putting the responsibility on somebody else to tell me what I'm letting you know. Talk to me. And we think, well, I've said this to somebody else before and they didn't understand. I'm not somebody else. So you got to create a safe environment, make sure that they know it's okay. Whatever you say, I'm not judging you. And again, if your issue is speaking right now, then write it, sing it, put it in a song, do something to express it. Because many times we aren't taught how to communicate. Many times when we talk to people, we look at their face. And if their face start looking crazy, we're thinking, they're judging me, they're whatever.
Absolutely.
And you got to get that poker face. You got to get a poker face. And then, because sometimes stuff could just hit you as a surprise. Not that I'm judging you, it's just like, oh, I didn't know that. But try to have a poker face, non-confrontational. Like, okay, just lay it out. But I think more times than not, people are embarrassed and they don't want to say what it really is, because they already prejudged themselves. Oh, you're going to think this of me. You're going to think I'm that. You're going to think I'm this. No, talk to me. And be able to express yourself. So you got to take some responsibility for that and just be able to state what you're saying without already thinking what they're going to say.
Okay.
Or how they're going to feel.
Okay. And so it's just like, so creating a safe haven and letting people know that you truly, honestly care is the thing.
Absolutely. And I'm concerned. I want to know.
How you feel? Do you think too is like also getting to the point where you are so confident in who you are and what you're about, you speak it. You get what I'm saying? It's like everybody's not going to give you that. So are you only going to be who you are with this one person who gives you the safe haven? Or are you going to be so confident in who you are and what you represent and move forward in that? And that itself allows you to be, because there's no...
But should it start with a safe haven though, at least? You know what I mean?
Well,
because
if you're not used to,
if you're not used
okay,
to
yeah, but also too,
but then that will give you one place to be who you are. But one place to be who you are.
But it's better, you know what I mean? Just that start better than no place.
Start there. You know what I mean? And then as you work your way. But for one, you don't need to be on a quest for I need everybody to understand me. Not necessarily.
Absolutely.
You don't have to understand me. As long as I'm confident in my thing, I don't have to convince you to understand what I'm saying. If we're cool, we got a relationship like that, or you're my friend. No, that's not what I mean. I want to say this, but you're going to have opinions and things that you do and say that a majority of people may not understand. That's on you. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to make sure that you agree with everything I do or you understand why I'm doing everything I'm doing. I put the statement out there. Some are going to agree, some are not. So we can't worry about how everybody feels and what they accept from us and what they don't accept from us.
Right.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really good. And
you can't worry about it, baby. I know you grew up. In this limelight from the time you were 15 years old, and everything is opinionated on what people say and do. And so from a teenager to grow up in that, I could understand that ability to, you know, please or be misunderstood. You got a magazine cover, you're saying this, you're saying that. No, that's not what I meant.
Right.
Or that's, oh, no. I get, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I get it because I wasn't in your situation,
Right.
but to come out of that
Yeah.
and to say, this is who I am, this is what I am. Everybody's not going to agree.
Right.
And even if they don't understand, this is who you are and this is what you are.
Right. You're absolutely right. And those are some of the things that I really, truly, honestly can say that I've grown so much because I'm learning how to walk in my own truths. I'm actually learning how to continuously say that even though somebody may not get me, you may not understand me, but at the end of the day, I know my heart is right. I know that, and what I mean by right, not saying my views are right, but I know that there is no malicious intent or anything that I'm doing to try to hurt you. So I have to just let it be what it is. And I'm learning how to speak up for myself and just to say, you know what, regardless as to if somebody gets me or not, I'm going to stand in this thing. And it's been very different lately for myself and for a lot of other people. Because people are not used to me saying no. People are not used to me saying, this is my business and I'm not going to let you in. You know, people are not used to those things coming from me because I thank God for the heart that he has given to me. At the same time, too, he told me to be wise with guarding my heart. And so those are some of the things that it was really, truly like a very hurtful place for me to feel misunderstood. And I wanted to get to know, and I have had a safe haven in you women. You know what I mean? I have found one here. And also because of the fact of me finding a safe haven, I am now able to walk in the confidence to tell somebody such and such and such. No, this ain't right. This ain't it. Whichever way that it comes
Whatever
out.
your truth is.
Whatever the truth is in it. And I can't even front and say that sometimes that it does not affect me a little bit. Because it hurts me to think that somebody else is hurting. But why would I sit back any longer and be quiet and mute and hurt and everybody else is cool and going on with their lives and I'm the one that's sitting back affected by everything that has just went on.
Come on.
So it's just like I'm grateful for that. And to me, I'm learning that if you don't understand me and if you don't get me, it's your problem, not mine.
Come on now.
That's how we all need to walk.
That's how we need to walk, and it's a confidence, and it's a confidence, and it's your truth. If it's your truth,
It's not my problem.
you got to tell your
their
truth,
issue.
and you got to. That's it. All right, you better get it.
Look at that.
It's
Look
their
at
issue.
God.
Come on and
Come
grow.
on, come on, look at God.
Grow into yourself,
You better grow up
Pamela.
now. Come on, you better do it.
Long.
Come on, you better do it.
Come on, Jesus. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yes, he would.
And there are people that are mad about it. And I'm just going to say it and put it out there. There are people that are very upset with the fact of where I am in my life right now.
But it's not about them.
It's not about them.
It's not.
And it's just like I just say to them that if you had some great people on your side the way that God has blessed me, you too would be changed.
Jesus.
So I'm just saying.
But it's more than just us.
Yeah,
it's
him. It's him living. It's him living through y'all.
I see
You know
what
what I mean?
she's
You
saying,
understand
though,
what I'm
Joyce.
saying?
You know, when you
But
get
it's just when you have somebody that is on your side, man, listen, all day long, and twice on Sunday, as
and
my big bro
twice
would
on
say.
Sunday.
Shout out to you, bro. 'Cause that's
Before
what you
we
would
go
say.
out, we want to invite you to join us again tonight.
Yes.
Again tonight at what time? 11:30 p.m.
Yes, 11:30 p.m. on Power 101 Gospel.
Power
We're gonna be
101
on.
Gospel. They want to do an
Yes,
interview with
.com.
Pam's World and crew. So
Hallelujah.
we'll go live on our
Yes.
different social medias. Maybe I'll do Periscope. Maybe you'll do Facebook Live.
Yes, we're gonna
So
definitely
if
do
you're
that.
up late tonight, you can
And
come on
yes,
in.
and please make sure it's going down July 4th. BKS1 is doing some great things. It's going to be we're going to party out all day long at Cedarbrook. And it's going to be an awesome free event. It's going to be people out there singing their faces off. Surface, Allure, Jay Chosen from The Voice. It's going down, y'all. Hosted by BKS. And y'all already know what's going down. And also right over here it is, y'all, right here, 2018 is the 4th of July, City of Plainfield. Let's celebrate. Come on, get your firecrackers, fireworks, get out here and let it go. You already know, y'all. All right, y'all, it's about that time. It's 8:50. We got to get out of here. I love y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all again. And at the end of the day, please know that Jesus loves you and that if not for nothing else, you are never alone. I'll say it like that.
Amen.
You're never. We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out with some Pamela Long right now.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We love y'all.
Serious right now. I'm speaking my heart on this record. Finally, I started seeing things as they were. All that you said was nothing but words. So I chopped it up to face the truth. Everything you did was all for you. What you mean? Don't take it personal. I gave up all of me and more. You said you would never leave, and you said you would never go, and you said you would always be there for me, for me, for me. Everybody's telling me just move on, but they don't know my love is strong, so strong. It's deeper than the eye can see. But what you really mean to me? What you mean to me? What you mean? Don't take it personal. I gave up on me and more. But what you mean? Don't take it personal. I gave up on me and more and more. You said you would never leave, and you said you would never go, and you said you would always be there for me, for me, for me. Never thought that I would have to let you go, but come to find